Waking up early is more than just getting out of bed before everyone else. It's a commitment to rise with purpose, a declaration to the world and to yourself that you refuse to let life slip through your fingers while you sleep it away. Each morning presents a choice: to begin strong or to begin sluggish, to take control of your time or to be controlled by it, to become the architect of your life or to remain a passive observer of it. And that choice starts with how you wake up. You must understand that early risers are not just more productive because they have more hours in the day. They are more productive because they make those hours matter. They are not driven by the clock. They are driven by vision. When you wake up early, you set the tone for the entire day. You take command of your time before the chaos of the world creeps in. You own the silence, the stillness, the moment that most of the world takes for granted. That moment is your edge. That moment is your secret weapon. Think about the power of the early morning. While others are still lost in sleep, you're moving, you're thinking, you're preparing, you're winning. The first hour of your day is the foundation upon which every other hour will be built. Lay that foundation with intention. Don't leave it to chance. If you want to dominate your day, you have to win the morning. And to win the morning, you must wake up with a purpose that's louder than your excuses, a mission that's stronger than your desire to hit the snooze button. The bed is comfortable, but comfort never built empires. Comfort never made anyone legendary. Growth doesn't come from the warmth of a cozy blanket. It comes from rising in the darkness, grinding in the quiet, and doing the hard things when no one is watching. That's when greatness is born. That's when confidence is forged. Each early morning you conquer, you're not just getting ahead. You're becoming the kind of person who gets ahead. Discipline begins in the dark. Success starts before the sun comes up. Champions aren't made in the spotlight. They're made in the shadows before the world awakens. They make promises to themselves the night before, and they keep them when the alarm rings. Because if you can't keep a promise to yourself, how can you expect to keep a promise to your goals, your family, your future? The way you start your day becomes the way you live your life. Waking up early is not about depriving yourself of sleep. It's about managing your life. It's about creating a rhythm that prioritizes purpose over pleasure, progress over procrastination. The most successful people in the world know that morning is a sacred time. It's when the mind is clearest, the world is quietest, and the possibilities are endless. You have to protect your mornings like your life depends on it, because it does. When you rise early, you give yourself space to think, to plan, to breathe. You're not rushing, you're not reacting. You're acting with clarity and conviction. That's when breakthroughs happen. That's when vision comes alive. That's when the mental and emotional chaos of the world can't touch you, because you've already fortified your mind with intentional action. You've already aligned yourself with your goals, and it's not just about productivity. It's about peace. Waking up early gives you control, and control gives you peace. Most people wake up late, rush through their morning, spill coffee on their shirt, curse the traffic, and stumble into the day with stress in their chest and confusion in their minds. But not you. You're different. You're the kind of person who chooses peace over panic, direction over disarray. That choice starts the night before. It starts with commitment. You don't need motivation, you need discipline. Motivation fades. Discipline endures. You don't rise early because you feel like it. You rise early because you've decided that your future is worth it. Because you've chosen to lead your life, not just live it. Because you understand that the morning is where momentum is born. And momentum is the difference between mediocrity and mastery. Imagine what happens when you own your morning for a week, then a month, then a year. Imagine the compound effect of hundreds of days beginning on your terms, fueled by purpose. While others are stuck in the cycle of excuses, you're building discipline. While others hit snooze, you're hitting goals. While others waste time, you're owning time. That's how champions live. That's how winners rise. And it doesn't take a miracle. It takes a decision. One decision made consistently with unshakable commitment. And every day you do it, it gets easier. Every early morning you conquer, the weaker version of you dies a little, and the stronger version is born. That's how transformation works, one battle at a time, one morning at a time. You may not feel ready. That's okay. You may not feel inspired. That's okay. You may not even feel like you belong among those who do great things. That's okay too. What matters is not what you feel, it's what you choose, and you can choose to rise, you can choose to begin again, you can choose to break the pattern, you can choose to stand up for the life you want, starting with the way you wake up. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to build the life you want for you. You must build it, and it starts with taking back your mornings. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to wake up with purpose. Get up, move your body, clear your mind, set your intentions, feed your soul, then go to war for your goals. The person who wins is not the one with the most talent. It's the one who shows up, the one who wakes up, the one who refuses to lose. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to get out of bed and move forward, because every step counts, every morning matters. You don't find greatness in one giant leap. You find it in the repeated choice to rise when it would be easier to stay down. And the truth is, the way you start your day becomes the way you end it. If you begin your morning strong, focused, and energized, you set yourself up to finish strong. Success is not a random event. It's the natural outcome of a disciplined life. It's not a mystery, it's a habit, and it begins when the world is still asleep. Your goals are waiting, your future is calling. And your time is now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when things are easier, now. Because if you won't fight for your dreams now, when will you? If you won't take your life seriously now, when will you? There is no perfect time, there's only time, and it's slipping away whether you use it or not. So take it back. Take back your mornings, take back your power. Wake up with fire in your soul. Wake up like someone who refuses to waste another minute. Wake up like your life depends on it, because it does. Every second you spend sleeping through your potential is a second you can never get back. Don't let comfort rob you of greatness. Don't let habit rob you of progress. Don't let fear rob you of action. You are capable of more than you know. And the first step to unlocking that potential is waking up early and starting your day right. Don't let the bed win. Don't let your doubts win. Don't let your old self win. Rise and fight. Rise and grind. Rise and claim what's yours. The world belongs to the ones who are awake enough to chase it. So tomorrow, when that alarm rings, get up. Don't think. Don't argue with yourself. Don't negotiate with weakness. Just get up, move, breathe, take action. The power is in the doing. The magic is in the movement. The transformation is in the choice to begin. And when you do that day after day, you won't need anyone to push you. You'll become unstoppable. You'll look back months from now and realize that everything changed when you decided to stop wasting your mornings. That the momentum you needed was always there, waiting for you to tap into it. That your life started to accelerate the moment you made that first disciplined choice. And what's even more powerful is this: when you wake up early and lead your life with intention, you inspire others to do the same. You become an example, a light, a force. People will wonder how you do it. They'll ask you what your secret is, but there will be no secret. Just discipline, just consistency, just the refusal to settle. So start now, not next week, not someday, now. Set your alarm, prepare your mind, tell yourself the truth, that you are meant for more, and that more begins the moment you open your eyes and refuse to close them again. Get up, get going, get after it. The life you want won't come from another hour of sleep. It will come from rising early, moving with purpose, and giving everything you've got to the day ahead. Because once you taste what it feels like to be ahead, once you experience the confidence that comes from owning your morning, you'll never want to go back. There's a deep, unshakable pride that comes from knowing you showed up when it was hard, When no one asked you to, when no one was watching, you did it for you. You did it because your future is worth the sacrifice. You did it because greatness demands it. There's something powerful about walking into the day knowing that while most were still dreaming, you were out there building your body, building your mind, building your character. You weren't waiting for the world to hand you something. You were taking control. That's the kind of mindset that changes everything. That's the kind of mindset that builds unbreakable people. You see, early mornings strip away the noise. There are no distractions, no interruptions, no one else's expectations to manage. It's just you and the work, you and the mirror, you and your future staring back at you, asking if today is the day you're finally going to step up. And when you do, when you truly embrace the morning as your time to rise, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you begin to elevate in every area of life. Opportunities come to those who are prepared. And preparation happens in the hours no one else sees. That's where the difference is made. That's where mastery is forged. When you get ahead of the day, you don't just meet challenges. You crush them. You don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just respond. You lead, your energy shifts, your confidence builds, your identity transforms. You stop seeing yourself as someone who's chasing change and start seeing yourself as someone who creates it. That's the real gift of the early morning. It shapes your identity. You stop being the person who sleeps through life and become the one who rises to every occasion. Let the world sleep, let them rest. Let them hit snooze, that's their choice, but yours is different. You're on a mission, you're chasing something bigger than sleep, bigger than comfort, bigger than fear. You're chasing your best self. And that version of you does not wait. That version of you does not hesitate. That version of you doesn't wait for the perfect mood, the perfect conditions, or the perfect energy. That version of you acts. That version of you wakes up and does what needs to be done, without excuses, without complaint, without delay. This is what it means to live intentionally. This is what it means to take your life seriously. You don't drift through the day hoping things go well. You anchor the day in action. You create the momentum. You build the power. And when others finally catch up, you're already 10 steps ahead, because you chose to begin before them. You chose to master the morning while they ignored it, and that choice changes everything. There's no magic pill, no quick fix, just the simple, repeated decision to rise early and start strong. That's how excellence is born. That's how greatness is shaped. That's how legacies are built, not in grand, public moments, but in quiet, disciplined mornings. You want to lead your family, lead your team, lead your life, then lead your morning. It's not easy, but that's the point. It's supposed to be hard. That's why it works. The difficulty is what separates the committed from the casual. It's what sharpens your will, your discipline, your resolve. Every time you do something hard, you reinforce your strength. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you solidify your character. And character is what carries you through the storm when motivation disappears. So when that alarm goes off tomorrow, remember what's at stake. Remember the future you want. Remember the person you're becoming. Don't roll over, rise up. Don't snooze, strike. Don't hesitate, dominate. That moment right there in bed, that's your first battle of the day. And when you win that battle, the rest of the day begins to fall into place. Your workouts get done. Your mind stays focused. Your time is honored. Your standards remain high, and over time, those little wins build a life most only dream of. You don't need to be extraordinary to start, but you do need to start to become extraordinary. Don't wait for inspiration. Be the inspiration. Be the one who shows up. Be the one who commits. Be the one who chooses greatness over excuses. The world has enough people sleeping through their potential. Be different. Be awake. Be alive. Every morning is a blank canvas. Every sunrise is a chance to write a new story. What will yours say that you waited, that you hesitated, that you let another day slip by? Or will it say you rose, you fought, you built something no one can take from you? The choice is yours. Waking up early is the gateway to self-mastery. It is the opening act of a life well lived. When you claim the morning, you claim control over your life, and when you have control, anything becomes possible. You move with clarity, not confusion, with courage, not fear, with certainty, not doubt. That's the power of an intentional morning. It puts you in the driver's seat. So keep going, keep rising, keep fighting. It will get easier, but more importantly, you will get stronger. Every early morning is one more brick in the foundation of your legacy. Every morning you win is one more step away from the person you used to be, and one step closer to the person you were born to become. Don't let that future slip away. Don't let another sunrise pass you by unnoticed, unused, unclaimed. Step into it. Own it. Let the sun rise on a version of you that refuses to settle, refuses to sleep through life, refuses to be average. You were not born to coast. You were not born to waste time. You were born to build, to rise, to lead, to live fully, fiercely, and without apology. That kind of life starts now. Not later, not when it's easier, now. The moment you wake up and decide that your time matters, that your dreams matter, that you matter, you are not a slave to the past. You are not stuck where you are. You are one decision away, one morning away from momentum, from clarity, from power. Choose it. Choose to rise. Choose to make your mornings count. And when you do, you'll find that you don't just change your days. You change your life. So don't wait. Tomorrow, wake up early, not just with your body but with your spirit. Wake up like you have something to prove. Wake up like your future depends on it. And as you begin again each morning, you'll start to notice something incredible. The things that once felt overwhelming begin to shrink. The obstacles that used to paralyze you lose their power, not because the world has changed, but because you have, because you've chosen to face the day on your terms, instead of letting it chase you down. You've tapped into something that most people never experience, the quiet strength that lives in consistency, the unshakable confidence that comes from keeping your word to yourself. The real you begins to emerge when you remove the noise, when you beat the sun to the sky, when you hear your thoughts clearly in the silence of early hours, and in that space when no one else is watching, you begin to remember what you're capable of. You remember what it feels like to be hungry for more. You remember what it means to fight for your life with everything you've got. And as the days pile up and your early mornings become routine, you no longer need to talk about what you'll do. You're already doing it. You become action in motion. You become momentum incarnate. Others might not understand at first. They'll wonder why you're up before the sun. They'll question your routines, your intensity, your refusal to sleep in on weekends. But soon, they won't be able to deny your results. They won't be able to ignore the discipline in your energy, the focus in your eyes, the peace in your presence, because it's impossible to hide the power of a person who owns their morning. That kind of person becomes magnetic. That kind of person doesn't chase opportunities, they create them. That kind of person doesn't follow trends, they set them. That kind of person doesn't get swept away by life. They shape life with intentional force. That person is you. You've just forgotten how powerful you are. Or maybe you've been waiting for permission to start. But here's the truth. No one is going to give you permission to be great. You have to take it. You have to declare it. You have to prove it in the dark before anyone celebrates you in the light. You don't get rewards without the grind. You don't get transformation without discipline. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't just roll out of bed. Rise with purpose. Move with intensity. Act like your future is watching. Because it is. Every step you take in the morning hours sends a message to the universe that you're ready, that you're serious, that you're not playing small anymore. Every early wake-up call is a message to your doubts, your fears, your excuses. You don't own me anymore. I own my time. I own my life. And I'm coming for everything I've ever dreamed of. Let that become your standard. Let early mornings become your sanctuary. Let them become your secret weapon. Because here's the truth most won't tell you. The most successful people in the world aren't smarter than you. They're not luckier. They're just more consistent. They've mastered the beginning of the day. They know that if you get the start right, everything else has a better chance of falling into place. It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter where you're starting from. What matters is that you commit, that you rise, that you build a morning so strong, so intentional, so rooted in purpose that the rest of the day has no choice but to submit to your discipline. And yes, there will be mornings you don't feel like it. There will be mornings your body begs you to rest, your mind pleads for more sleep, your emotions whisper lies about needing more comfort. But that's exactly when you must rise. Because on those mornings, you're not just waking up early. You're waking up into your power. You're proving that you are in charge. Not your feelings, not your mood, not your circumstances. You become a force when you no longer need to feel good to act great. You become dangerous to mediocrity when you no longer need motivation to move. That's the version of you the world needs. That's the version of you your dreams have been waiting for. And that version of you is born when the alarm rings and you rise without hesitation. If you want to change your life, change your mornings. If you want more energy, more peace, more confidence, stop looking for hacks and start showing up for yourself when it's hardest. That's the key. That's the truth. That's what winners do. They wake up and go to war for their dreams every single day, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. And what's on the other side of that commitment? Clarity, strength, discipline, success, pride, peace, that quiet peace that only comes from knowing you're living in alignment with your purpose, that deep satisfaction of knowing that you're not wasting this life, you're maximizing it. So tonight, when you go to bed, don't just fall asleep with intention, set your alarm with purpose, visualize the morning, see yourself rising, see yourself walking into the day with control, with calm, with power. Plant that vision in your mind and let it guide you when the alarm rings. Because the best version of you is not built in dreams. It's built in action. It's built in those first 20 minutes after you wake up. That version of you isn't just created. It's chosen day after day, morning after morning. And if you fall off, if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just get back to it. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be relentless. Keep showing up. Keep rising. Keep fighting for the life you know you're capable of. That's how change happens. That's how growth is built. One early morning at a time. You don't need to be superhuman. You just need to be consistent. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to be willing to rise before the rest of the world and figure it out as you go. So rise. Not because it's easy. Rise because it's right. Because your future is too important to sleep through. Because your life is waiting for the most powerful version of you to show up. And that version is born in the morning. Wake up early, start your day right, and never stop rising. The world belongs to those who are ready to own it. And it starts with the decision to rise when the rest of the world stays asleep. This is your time. This is your season. This is your life. This is the truth you must burn into your mind. Every morning is a new opportunity to recreate yourself, not once a month, not once a year, every single day. You don't need to wait for a new year, a birthday, a big event, or a crisis. The reset button is right there in front of you. It's your alarm clock. And when you hit that off button instead of snooze, when your feet hit the floor with purpose, you're making a declaration. I will not waste this day. I will not waste my life. There is nothing more powerful than a human being who refuses to waste time. Time is the great equalizer. We all get 24 hours. What separates winners from the rest is how they start those 24 hours. Do they start from behind, reacting to everything, running late, apologizing for being unprepared? Or do they start from ahead, ready, calm, grounded, focused? You know the answer. The difference is the morning. You're not just fighting tiredness in those early hours. You're fighting a culture of complacency. A culture that says it's okay to delay, that comfort is king, that discipline is outdated, that greatness should be instant and easy, but you know better. You've seen what happens to those who sleep through their potential. You've seen what happens to those who wait for life to change instead of rising to meet it. Waking up early isn't about joining a club. It's about reclaiming your mind before the world fills it with noise. It's about mastering your schedule before distractions dictate it. It's about feeding your body, your mind, your purpose before life tries to steal your attention. You rise not just for productivity, but for peace. For power, for progress. You become a different person when you control your mornings. You become someone who can't be shaken by stress because you've already grounded yourself in clarity. You become someone who no longer gets pulled into chaos because you've already carved out calm. You become someone who doesn't doubt themselves because your actions prove who you are. Every morning, every time you rise, and soon it's no longer a struggle. It becomes second nature. You begin to crave the stillness before the world wakes. You begin to cherish the silence that lets you think deeply, move freely, plan powerfully. The early hours become your edge, your weapon, your zone. While the world is asleep, you're sharpening your tools. You're designing your destiny. You're moving with intent while others drift. People will notice. They won't always understand it, but they will feel it. Your energy will shift. You'll walk into rooms differently. You'll carry yourself with quiet confidence, not because of what you say, but because of how you live. The way you greet the day becomes the way you attack your goals. There is no hesitation, no half effort, only deliberate, focused action. Let others wonder how you do it. Let them talk, let them gossip, while they rest, while they procrastinate, while they make excuses, you rise. And with each sunrise your lead gets bigger, your discipline grows deeper, your character becomes stronger. You're not just changing your life, you're setting a standard for everyone around you. And let's be clear, this is not about becoming a robot. This isn't about perfection. This is about ownership, about knowing that you have the power to shape your day and therefore shape your future. That power lives in every morning. It's yours to take, but no one can give it to you. You have to decide, you have to commit. There will always be temptations. Just 5 more minutes, just one more snooze, but those 5 minutes can cost you 5 years. 5 minutes of sleep can cost you the focus that changes everything. That's the price of comfort. And once you realize how costly those small decisions are, you'll never look at mornings the same way again. Winners don't wait to feel like it. Winners don't need ideal conditions. Winners wake up early because the mission matters more than the mood. They understand that motivation is fleeting, but systems last. That passion may fade, but purpose remains, and purpose doesn't sleep. Purpose doesn't hit snooze. Purpose gets up, and you, if you're ready to become everything you were meant to be, must do the same. You're not here to repeat yesterday. You're not here to live on autopilot. You're here to evolve, to expand, to elevate, and that starts, not with huge life-altering events, but with small, consistent wins, like waking up early, like starting your day right. Want a better life? Master your morning. Want stronger relationships? Start your day with peace and clarity. Want better health? Use your mornings to train, fuel, stretch, sweat. Want financial growth? Spend early hours learning, planning, creating. Want confidence? Show up for yourself when no one else does. The world doesn't need more talk. It needs more people who act, people who walk their talk, people who lead themselves before they try to lead others. And that starts always with how you begin your day. So tomorrow, when that alarm goes off, remind yourself what's at stake. Your peace, your power, your potential. It's not just about waking up. It's about rising up. You have one shot at this life, one chance to live fully, to give your all, to leave no potential wasted. Don't spend it sleeping through what could be your most powerful season. Don't waste it waiting for things to feel right. Take command, take control, take that first step, and keep taking it, morning after morning, no matter what. That's how greatness is built. It begins when you open your eyes with intention. It grows when you put your feet on the floor with purpose. It solidifies when you act, before the world demands it. The greatest battle you will ever fight is against your comfort, and every early morning is a chance to win that battle, a chance to silence the voice of limitation and strengthen the voice of discipline. That's where the fire is born. That's where the dream becomes real. So rise, champion, rise with grit, rise with focus, rise with purpose, because everything you've ever wanted is waiting on the other side of your discipline. And it all begins with the decision to wake up early and start your day right. Rise like your life depends on it, because it does. Rise with the urgency of someone who understands that time is your most precious asset. You don't get to rewind it, you don't get to pause it, you only get to use it or lose it, and how you use the first moments of your day determines the rhythm of the hours that follow. When you choose to rise early, you are making more than a physical decision. You are making a declaration to yourself and the world. I will no longer be a prisoner of my excuses. I will no longer sit back and wait for things to happen. I will rise and make them happen. That kind of decision has power. That kind of decision changes lives. That kind of decision separates the average from the extraordinary. Every great leader, visionary, innovator, athlete, and creator knows this truth. Winning the day starts with owning the morning. Not because there's some magical formula in waking up early, but because of what that discipline represents. It represents hunger. It represents self-respect. It represents the ability to command your life instead of reacting to it. Most people never get there. They live in cycles of regret. They sleep through opportunities and wake up only when it's too late. Don't be like most people. Be the exception. Be the one who moves while others rest. Be the one who creates while others consume. Be the one who rises while others roll over. Even on days when you feel nothing is happening, rise. Even when the progress feels slow, rise. Even when no one is watching, rise. Because you're not doing this for applause. You're doing it for alignment. You're doing it to become the person you were born to be. There is something special about greeting the day before the world does. There's a calmness, a clarity, a whisper in the silence that says, "You've got this." That stillness is a gift, but only those who rise early ever receive it. That time is sacred, and if you treat it as such, it will give you treasures that money can't buy. Mental strength, emotional resilience, spiritual peace, and unmatched productivity. Use that time wisely. Reflect, meditate, read, plan, train, stretch, create. Speak affirmations, rehearse your goals, visualize your future. Prepare your mind and body to walk into the day not as a servant to circumstances, but as a master of choices. This is not about obsessing over time. This is about valuing it. It's about choosing to live each day on offense, not defense. When you rise early, you are not just ahead of the clock, you are ahead of the pack. While others struggle to get moving, you've already made progress. While others complain about not having time, you've created it. While others talk about dreams, you've already taken the first step toward yours. Momentum is everything, and morning momentum is the most powerful kind. Because once you've moved with purpose in the first hour of the day, it becomes much harder to fall into laziness, procrastination, or chaos. You've set the tone, you've claimed control, the day begins to bend to your energy. People wonder how the elite stay focused, how they stay disciplined, how they remain grounded while the world spins in chaos. The answer is simple. They own their mornings. They understand that how you begin anything influences everything. That's not luck. That's intentional living. So no matter how tired you are, how discouraged you feel, how far behind you may think you are, rise anyway. You'll never regret the mornings you showed up for yourself. You'll never look back and say, "I wish I had slept longer." But you might look back one day and wish you had woken up to your potential sooner. That's the pain you want to avoid. the pain of wasted time, wasted talent, and wasted life. Trade that pain for the pride that comes from knowing you did what most won't, that you took control of your day, your direction, your destiny, that you didn't need fanfare or applause, just an alarm clock and a decision. You see, success isn't always loud. Most of the time it's quiet. It happens in the background. It's the early wake-ups, the disciplined choices, the routines no one sees, the hours of preparation that precede every moment of achievement. That's the truth most people miss. They want the spotlight without the early grind. They want the rewards without the sacrifice. But not you. You're different. You're built for more, and if that fire inside you ever flickers, remember why you started. Remember who you said you'd become. Remember what's at stake, and rise. It won't always be easy. You will have days when you slip, days when you miss, days when the bed feels too warm and the excuses feel too real. That's okay. What matters is that you return, that you recommit, that you never let a temporary slip become a permanent standard. Keep coming back, keep showing up, keep rising, because eventually the early wake-ups will become who you are. You won't have to force it. You'll crave it. You'll see the results, feel the shift, and know deep in your soul that this is your edge. This is your advantage. This is your path to everything you've been dreaming of. So don't wait another day to start living that truth. Set your alarm, prepare your mind, and tomorrow, when the world still sleeps, rise with fire in your heart and purpose in your steps. Rise with gratitude in your spirit and focus in your eyes. Rise like you're already the person you were destined to become. Rise because your future demands it. Rise because your dreams deserve it. Rise because there is no backup version of your life. There is no second draft, no alternate timeline waiting to hand you success if you miss your moment today. This is it. This is the life you have, the chance you've been given, and the truth is, it's more than enough when you use it wisely, and it all begins with how you meet the morning. You may not control everything in your day. Life is unpredictable. Obstacles will appear. People will disappoint you. Circumstances will change. But when you wake up early, you're taking command of what you can control. You're building your inner foundation before the world has a chance to shake you. You're becoming so grounded in purpose that no storm can uproot you. This is how you build inner peace, not by avoiding chaos, but by preparing your soul to stay strong within it. That preparation starts before the sun rises. Before the emails arrive, before the notifications begin, you wake up early, not just to get ahead in business or productivity, but to get ahead spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, to breathe, to think, to focus, to grow. There's something sacred about this, something timeless. Look back at history and you'll find a common thread among the disciplined, the successful, the legendary. They owned their mornings. They wrote before the world stirred. They trained while others rested. They reflected in silence while others scrolled through noise. They weren't superhuman. They were simply intentional, and you can be too. When you rise early, you start living life on your terms. You stop letting the outside world set your agenda. You stop being at the mercy of everyone else's expectations. Instead, you walk into each day with clarity. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it. That confidence doesn't come from words. It comes from action. It comes from consistency. It comes from showing up again and again, even when it's hard. Yes, there will be days when your bed whispers to you, when the warmth tempts you to stay, when your body feels heavy and your mind says, just 5 more minutes. But that's where the battle is won or lost, in that moment. That small decision sets the tone. 1 snooze becomes 2. 2 becomes 10. 10 becomes a missed opportunity. And then you're behind, scrambling, anxious. You've let comfort because once you start rising early, really rising early with purpose, not just to check a box, but to own your life, you begin to separate yourself from the version of you that once settled for less. You begin to shed the layers of self, doubt, distraction, laziness, and fear. You begin to transform from a person with potential into a person who fulfills it, step by step, day by day, sunrise by sunrise. And that transformation is quiet. It happens in those early hours when no one else sees, but the results, they speak loudly. People start to notice the change in you. They feel your energy shift. You begin to walk differently, talk differently, carry yourself with more purpose. Not because you're faking it, but because you've earned it. You've done the hard things when no one was watching. You've taken full responsibility for your time, your mindset, your progress. This is how you build unshakable confidence. Not from compliments, not from achievements alone, but from the sacred promise you keep to yourself every morning: I will rise. I will take charge of my day. I will do what must be done even when I don't feel like it. I will not live on accident. I will live on purpose. Think about where you want to be in 5 years, what kind of life you want to live, what kind of person you want to become. Every part of that vision depends on one thing: what you do daily, not what you do once in a while, not what you plan to do eventually, but what you commit to right now, today, and every day after. The morning is your proving ground. It's where your character is forged. It's where you rehearse greatness in small, repeated actions. And if you master that, you'll find that most battles in life become easier, because you've already done the hardest part. You've chosen discipline over ease, purpose over comfort, and vision over momentary pleasure. When you wake up early, you're choosing to lead your life. You're refusing to be pushed around by other people's schedules, emergencies, or agendas. You are setting the tone for your family, your team, your community. You are living by design, not default. And the more you do this, the more you realize this is bigger than just productivity. This is about integrity. It's about trust. It's about building a reputation with yourself that says, I can count on me. That kind of trust is rare. Most people can't rely on their own willpower, their own discipline. But you're different now because you've decided to stop wasting time, decided to stop living reactive, decided to stop settling for average. And you made that decision not at some grand ceremony, but in the quiet moments of the early morning, when you pulled yourself out of bed and said, let's go. You may not see the rewards instantly. You may not feel amazing every morning, but keep showing up, keep rising, keep doing the inner work, because all greatness starts invisible, all progress starts hidden, and one day you'll look around and realize, I've changed. My life has changed. I'm no longer that version of me who made excuses and waited around. I've become unstoppable. I've become focused. I've become intentional. I've become powerful, and all of it started the moment I decided to wake up early and start my day right. So wherever you are in your journey, begin again. If you've fallen off, rise again. If you're discouraged, rise anyway. If you're tired, rise with faith. If you're overwhelmed, rise with grace, and don't just rise for you. Rise for the people you love. Rise for the future you believe in. Rise for the version of yourself that's watching, waiting, hoping you'll finally take the lead. This is the discipline that unlocks all other disciplines. This is the decision that rewrites your destiny, and it's not someday, it's not next week, it's tomorrow morning. You have a chance to wake up different, to rise with fire, to chase your goals before the world distracts you, to lead your life instead of being led by circumstance. Don't waste that chance. Don't sleep through your future. Wake up early. Start your day right. And rise again and again for the rest of your life, with purpose, with passion, with power. Because the life you want doesn't wait for the perfect time. It waits for you to take the time. It waits in the silence before the noise, in the clarity before the chaos, in the stillness before the storm. It's there, waiting in the early hours before the world awakes, when no one else is watching. Only you, your dreams, and the decision to rise. There is something sacred about a morning earned. Not a morning stumbled into, not one snoozed through and rushed into, but one earned through intention and consistency. When you rise early and begin your day with purpose, you begin to feel a new kind of pride, one not handed to you, but forged by your own will. You feel in control, you feel centered, you feel alive, because when the sun rises and finds you already in motion, already grounded, already clear, there's power in that. The world becomes your canvas instead of your cage. The day bends to your energy instead of you bending to its pressure. You are no longer at the mercy of distractions, demands, or detours. You are steady, unshakable, ready, and this doesn't just transform how you work, it transforms how you live. It changes how you speak, how you listen, how you show up for others. You walk into rooms with confidence instead of doubt. You handle challenges with grace instead of panic. You pursue your goals with fire instead of fear. Why? Because you already won the first battle of the day, the battle with yourself. Most people don't even realize they're losing that battle. They wake up late, scroll aimlessly, rush through routines, and wonder why their lives feel so out of control. But not you. You've seen the truth. You've felt the shift. You understand now that how you greet the day is how you greet your life. And every morning you choose to rise with intention. You step closer to becoming the person you were born to be. So keep rising, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because every time you rise early, you're casting a vote for the life you want. And the more votes you cast, the more that life becomes your reality. You're not just building a routine. You're building momentum, and momentum is everything. It's what carries you forward when motivation fades. It's what keeps you going when the goals feel far away. It's what reminds you who you are and what you're made of. And the beauty of it is, it's always available. Every morning is a new opportunity to reset, to recommit, to rise. You don't need to wait for Monday. You don't need a new month or a new year. You just need a new morning. That's the gift you're given every single day, the chance to start again. So when you open your eyes tomorrow, don't just wake up, rise. Rise with gratitude that you have another shot. Rise with clarity that you know what matters. Rise with discipline that says, I show up no matter what. Rise with fire that says, today I lead my life. And remember, this is about so much more than waking up early. This is about becoming someone who chooses greatness, who chooses growth, who chooses discipline over distraction, alignment over apathy, and meaning over mediocrity. Because ultimately, waking up early is not just about gaining extra time. It's about stepping into the mindset that says, I'm in control of my life. And when you do that consistently, your entire world begins to shift. You stop reacting and you start creating. You stop drifting and you start driving. You stop surviving and you start thriving. So wake up early. Not because you have to, but because you can. Because the future you're chasing starts the moment you stop pressing snooze on your own potential. And once you embrace that truth, fully, fiercely, without compromise, you'll never go back to the person you were before. You'll become the kind of person who doesn't wait for opportunity, but creates it, who doesn't wait for motivation, but becomes it, who doesn't wait for the world to change, but leads that change, one morning at a time. So, when the world is still quiet, when the light is just breaking, and the sky is whispering that a new day has begun, rise, stand tall, be relentless, and own it. Because your greatness begins not when others believe in you, but when you believe in yourself enough to rise before them. And once you begin to feel the power of a consistent morning, everything in your life starts to align. Your mind sharpens, your body responds, your spirit strengthens, you notice things others miss, you prepare for challenges before they even arrive. You're not just moving through your days anymore, you're commanding them. You're crafting your future with every decision, every action, every single morning you choose to rise. You start to crave that peace, that silence, that time when the world hasn't yet placed its weight on your shoulders. You start to love the solitude, because in that solitude you reconnect with what truly matters. You hear your own voice again, underneath the noise. You reflect, you dream, you reset. You remind yourself who you are and who you're becoming. This is why people who rise early stand out, not because they're better, but because they've made a better choice. A choice to live fully, not halfway. a choice to design their life instead of watching it pass them by, a choice to value every breath, every minute, every moment they're given. And when you do this long enough, it becomes more than a habit. It becomes a lifestyle, a way of being. It no longer feels forced. It feels right. It feels necessary. It becomes the rhythm of a life that is driven by purpose and fueled by vision. You become the person others look up to, not because you tell them what to do, but because you show them. Through your consistency, through your peace, through your power, they feel it, they see it, and they ask how you do it. The answer is simple. You wake up early, you start your day right, you lead yourself. And you begin to realize that this discipline bleeds into everything. You become more present in conversations, more resilient under stress, more effective in your work, more available for the people you love. All because you gave yourself the gift of time, of clarity, of control. First thing every morning. So never underestimate what a morning can do. Never forget that a powerful life starts with powerful choices, repeated over time. That every early morning you choose discipline, you're shaping a reality far greater than you can yet see. The world will continue to spin. It will pull at your attention, your energy, your emotions. But you'll be anchored, because you've made time to connect with your purpose before it begins. You've built yourself in the quiet hours when others were still dreaming, and as time passes, you'll start to see the evidence. Your progress will compound, your mindset will harden, your vision will sharpen, and the distance between where you were and where you're going will shrink. You will not only accomplish more, you will become more, because it was never about the hours themselves. It was always about who you chose to be in those hours, a warrior, a builder, a creator, a leader, a person who owns their time, owns their mind, and owns their future. So let others sleep through their lives. You rise. You rise with hunger. You rise with discipline. You rise with clarity. You rise because you refuse to waste another day. This is your season. This is your chance. This is your life. Wake up early. And never stop rising, because your consistency in the quiet hours is what separates the average from the exceptional. While others are still lost in sleep, you're gathering strength. While others delay, you decide. While the world hesitates, you act. That edge compounds over time, not just in what you do, but in who you become. This life is not waiting for you to feel ready. It's not pausing until you're in the mood. It moves with or without you, and that's why the early hours matter so much. They give you the time to move first, to prepare your mind before the world has a chance to distract it, to control your emotions before circumstances begin to test them, to start strong so you can carry that strength into every task, every goal, every conversation. When you wake up early and start your day right, you stop chasing balance, you create it. You stop hoping for focus. You claim it. You stop needing motivation. You generate it. And you begin to realize that greatness was never about big breakthroughs, but about tiny, repeated victories that begin when you decide to show up for yourself before anyone else even expects it. The world is full of people who want more. More success, more peace, more progress, more meaning. But very few are willing to pay the price. And that price often looks like something simple but powerful. Waking up early, again and again, long after the excitement has faded and long before the rewards are visible. But that's the difference between a wish and a standard. Between interest and commitment. You didn't come this far to live lukewarm. You didn't fight through your past to arrive at mediocrity. You didn't endure struggle to settle for a life you don't love. So rise every day as if your life depends on it, because it does. You will never regret the mornings you chose discipline over comfort. You will never regret the days you started with intention. You will never regret the quiet hours spent shaping your character, training your mind, and preparing your spirit. Those mornings become the moments that define you. They become the building blocks of a future so powerful that even your past can't hold you back. And here's the truth. Even if no one ever claps for you, even if no one sees the hours you grind, even if no one understands why you do what you do, you know what you're building, you know why it matters. You know that this isn't just about productivity, it's about purpose. It's about living in alignment with the person you know you're meant to be, and that person, the version of you who rises early, leads with clarity, and lives on fire, is already inside you. You don't need to find them. You need to uncover them every single day with the choices you make when the alarm goes off and the world is still asleep. So set your alarm not as a burden, but as a promise. A promise that you won't waste another morning. A promise that you will meet each day with courage, with faith, with focus. A promise that no matter what yesterday looked like, today will be met with strength. That no matter how far you have to go, you'll take the next step now. Wake up early, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it, because it changes everything, because it gives you the one thing most people never realize they need, a sense of ownership over your own life. This is your moment, this is your path, this is your power. Wake up early, start your day right, and don't just rise. Rise with purpose. Rise like someone who knows their time is now. Rise like someone who refuses to settle. And as you continue to rise each morning with purpose, a quiet shift takes place. Not in the world, but in you. You begin to trust yourself more. You no longer negotiate with laziness. You stop explaining your dreams to people who wouldn't understand them, because you don't need their validation anymore. You're too busy building, too busy growing, too busy showing up when it counts most, at the beginning of every day. And the beauty is, it's not about perfection. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about having the courage to meet the morning again and again, no matter how yesterday went. Some days you'll feel tired. Some mornings will be harder than others. But those are the days that count the most, because that's where real strength is forged, not in comfort, but in resistance. Not when it's easy, but when it's hard and you rise anyway. That's how resilience is built. That's how character is shaped. That's how confidence is earned. Not given, earned in the quiet, in the shadows, in the discipline of the early hours where no one is watching, but everything is changing. You begin to understand that each morning is not just a reset. It's a rebirth. A new chance to outgrow who you were yesterday. A chance to expand, evolve, and elevate. You're not chasing success. You're embodying it. You're not hoping for progress, you're becoming it. You're no longer waiting for the world to give you permission. You've taken full command. This is what it means to lead yourself. To no longer rely on motivation, but to run on purpose. To no longer fear failure, but to use it as feedback. To no longer look at the clock and count how much time you have left, but to look inward and realize how much power you have right now, and the world starts to respond to this version of you. Not because you asked it to, but because you became undeniable. Your energy changes rooms. Your presence commands respect. Your consistency creates results. You don't just talk about potential. You live it. People may wonder what your secret is. They may not understand the early mornings, the structure, the commitment, but that's okay. Because you know the truth, there is no secret. There is only a decision to take control of your life by taking control of your mornings. The world is full of noise, but the early hours, that's where you find clarity. That's where your mind is sharp, your heart is open, and your intentions are pure. That's where you hear the whispers of your calling without distraction. That's where your vision gets louder than your fear. And when you rise day after day, you become immovable. You're not just surviving the chaos of life. You're directing it. You're not chasing time, you've mastered it. You're not reacting to life. You're designing it. So no matter how tempting it is to sleep through your greatness, don't. No matter how convincing the excuses may sound, silence them. No matter how far your goals may seem, inch closer with every sunrise. One morning at a time, one victory at a time, one step closer, until the distance between where you are and where you're going disappears. This is not about being a morning person. This is about being a purpose-driven person. It's about refusing to drift. It's about refusing to wake up and simply survive. It's about choosing to live a life of impact, clarity, and direction, and choosing to begin every day with that fire in your chest. So tomorrow when the alarm rings, don't hesitate, don't negotiate, don't give your dreams another excuse. Rise like your legacy depends on it. Rise like your best life is waiting on the other side. Rise like every second of your life is sacred, because it is. And know this, the person you're becoming, the future you're building, the peace you're chasing, it all starts with the simplest act of courage, and as you keep rising, something deeper happens. You stop needing to prove yourself to others. You stop chasing approval, applause, or permission. Because when you start your day with deliberate action, you realize that the only person you need to prove anything to is the one staring back at you in the mirror. That person, the one you meet every morning before the world rushes in, is the one who holds the key to your future. And if you can earn their respect by how you begin each day, then no obstacle, no setback, no failure will ever stop you. You'll begin to look forward to the challenge. The early hour will no longer feel like a burden, but a blessing. It becomes a symbol of your strength, your growth, your ability to stay committed when it would be easier to give in. Every time you ignore that voice in your head telling you to go back to bed, you become stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow closer to the version of yourself that you've always wanted to become. You see, waking up early is not just a lifestyle change. It's a mental transformation. It says, I am in charge of my mind. I control my body. I decide how this day begins, and I refuse to be a victim of circumstance. That mindset will carry you when motivation fades, when energy dips, when results feel distant. Because you didn't start this journey for quick wins. You started it for lasting change, and it changes everything. Your focus becomes laser sharp. Your priorities become non-negotiable. Your time becomes sacred. You no longer let distractions steal your dreams because you've felt what it's like to be fully in control of your day. And once you've had a taste of that, you'll never go back to drifting. While the rest of the world scrambles in reaction, you'll be grounded in intention. While others begin their day overwhelmed, you'll begin yours with clarity and strength. And in time, the results will speak for themselves, not just in your achievements, but in your presence, in the way you walk into a room, in the way you handle adversity, in the way people feel your energy and know you've done the work when no one was watching. Because that's the real reward, not just what you accomplish, but who you become. The early riser becomes the leader, the one who sets the tone, not the one who follows it. The one who creates peace before chaos, who finds stillness before noise, who moves with purpose when others are stuck in reaction. That's you now, and that power. It's built one morning at a time. It's not about chasing perfection. It's about honoring a promise to yourself that no matter how tired you are, no matter how tempting comfort may be, you will rise, not because it's easy, but because it matters, because you've decided that your life is worth more than excuses. Your dream is worth more than sleep. Your purpose is worth more than temporary comfort. And when you keep that promise, again and again, you begin to trust yourself in a way that changes everything. You know that you'll show up, no matter what. You know that you have your own back. That kind of self-trust is unshakable. It's rare and it's magnetic. People feel it. Opportunities are drawn to it. Success follows it. But most importantly, you feel it. You feel the shift in how you breathe, in how you think, in how you live. So from this moment on, let every sunrise be a reminder of what's possible. Let every quiet hour be proof of your power. Let every morning you rise early be a declaration that you are not average, and you never will be. You're on a path now, a path few take, but the one that leads to everything you've ever wanted. Wake up early, start your day right, and become the force no one saw coming. Because your time is no longer coming, it's already here.